What's up guys, I'm Mr. Doodles, and today I'd like to show you a loot run that I do on Shoreline. And a side note, just as a friendly reminder, if this is your first time in the channel, please feel free to give a like or subscribe to the channel. Also, I do stream on Twitch every day depending on my work schedule, starting at 6 p.m. Central European Time. Link to my Twitch is in the description below. And feel free to jump in the chat and tell me how you liked the video, and thank you for watching. So the reason I like doing this loot run is that there is a high survivability rate. I've been surviving about 90% of the time. There's a bunch of stashes, safes, jackets, and duffel bags. And you'll be able to kill at least 6 to 8 scavs, along with possibly any players you might come in contact with. And aside from the 2 keys that I like to use because they're guaranteed to almost never be looted, you actually don't need any keys at all to do this loot run. The loot is consistent enough to make you roubles. Now, it won't be the highest tiered loot necessarily, but it'll be consistent and you'll be able to get in and out of the raids quick enough that you'll be consistently generating roubles. So for a loadout, going in during the day, you'll want to bring in a helmet. You want it to be armor class 4 with a ricochet of high. This high comp striker is pretty good. I would recommend it. Protects the top of your head and the nape. It's 62k from Ragman, so it is a little expensive, but I think it's worth it. If you're going at night, you'll want to bring an MVG, and honestly, this Armasight N15 NVG goggles are pretty decent. They get the job done. They're not fancy. They're about 50k on the flea market. You can throw it on this NVG head strap, so you can get an NVG set pretty cheaply compared to other ones. The only sacrifice you're making is that it has no head protection like a helmet. So if you get shot in the head, you die. Other than that, everything else is the same between the night and day loadouts. You'll have your headset. Any headset will do. I'm just running M32s because I had them in my stash. For a tactical rig, I would recommend running the armored rigs and don't do the body armor and tactical rig because you'll save a little bit on weight. You'll even see with this loadout right now, we're a little heavy. We're almost 35 kilograms at the start, and you're only going to get heavier as you loot. This 6B3 TM armored rig is very good. Well, decent, I guess. It's the classic budget rig. The ANA M1 and M2 are actually just as good. One of them has more space and I think higher hit points, so if you want to use those, go ahead, but they're usually a lot more expensive. This one is only about 55k from Ragman, and has armor class of 4, and then it also protects your thorax and stomach, which is really good. It's not fancy, only has a couple slots, but enough for a couple magazines, which is more than enough. Spots if you want to throw some grenades in there, that'll be awesome. And the last thing is you'll want a big backpack. Alright, right now I have the Attack 2. If you can only get your hands on a Pilgrim or something like that, that's fine. The biggest thing is that you want a backpack with a lot of space, so you're not having to pick and choose between loot, and you can just take all the loot out. So as for the medicine you should bring, what I would recommend for meds is you bring a hemostat and an AFAC, and you hotkey them 4 and 5. That way, if you get in a fight, you can quickly heal your heavy bleed and then heal up quickly without having to go into your inventory. In my container, I like to bring some aluminum splints, so a Salewa and a serve kit, as well as an injector case and a docs case. The injector case, if you don't have one of these, I would highly recommend getting one. They're very expensive on the flea market right now, but you can carry so many injectors, and it's awesome for a big map like Shoreline because you can bring a mule, some SJ6s that are very good for improving your stamina, propitols, morphine, all the good stuff. The docs case is another case I would recommend getting. It is also pretty expensive, but you can throw keys, you can throw intelligence folders, you can throw diaries, you can throw Bitcoin, GP, cash. You throw a lot of stuff in here, so this actually adds to the amount of high value loot that you can bring out. And the best part is it is able to be stashed in your container, so if you die, you still bring it out. 2 keys that I've been running on this loot run. You don't have to buy them or obtain them. I just recommend, just for a little extra chance at getting high value loot, this SMW car key is a car that's trunk is locked next to the unlocked cottage that is over by the village. Almost anything can spawn in the trunk. I've been noticing that it's been spawning condensed milk and energy drinks consistently, for me at least. And the other key is the HEP station storage room key. Now this is the key to the USEC stash, and it's in the hydroelectric power station. The reason I bring these keys is that I've noticed that at any time during the raid, these 2 locations for loot are almost guaranteed to not be looted. Almost no one goes inside the power station. They usually just kill the scavs, kill the sniper scavs, and then move on. So even if you come up to power station, you can still check this room. More than likely it'll be locked. There's a intelligence case spawn, so it's a very good key to have. Okay, so I have a map of Shoreline, and as you can see, I've drawn the route out. And yeah, here it is. So this is a very loose route. If I start at the east side, which I prefer, I'll jump out, hit these stashes along the way. The first point of interest that I will be stopping at would be the radio tower right here, hitting that stash, then moving on to the water tower compound right here. There'll be 2 to 3 scavs in here, and then in this building there'll be a safe, computer, and a loose tech spawn next to like the server rack that's right there. But once you get through there, make your way down, hit the I call it the drunk tank right here. There's a stash underneath. Then you can sit right here, knock out the 2 sniper scavs, come down, eliminate any of the scavs that like to hang out here, get in the building, get to the USEC stash, which is up on the 2nd floor, hit that, come down. Now right here, I stay away from gas station most of the time, because if I hear fighting in here, if you get into a fight here with scavs or another player, almost 100% of the time, whoever's in here will jump out, come down, and try to get you. So I kind of avoid the gas station for the most part. But you can go up in there. I guess the trade-off is this is a little more exposed, getting to the cottage and the construction compound for the cottage. This you can kind of come down. If someone's camping right here, you're behind them, so you might have a better vantage point at getting them if you can sniff them out. But anyways, I like to hit the stash right here, make my way, and there's usually a couple loose loot items, just kind of random things. I go around the back, you go around the front. Again, if there's someone right here, they're going to be shooting at you almost immediately. So I go around the back, hit the SMW car, go in here, hit the 2 safes that are there. There's a couple duffel bags and a couple jackets, and then make my way through the village. Normally by this time, if I'm coming from the east side, the only items I hit are the stashes, and then I get out. Coming from the west side, say you spawn one of these, it's probably going to be a good idea to loot your way through the village first. Take your time, get all the goodies that are in there, because as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 stashes within the compound of the village. But yeah, if you spawn on the west side, you can just make your way backwards, basically. I prefer to run this at night. I'll be showing you the route in an offline raid on the daytime, but I feel that running it at night is better because there's not as many players, and you're able to move through the map a little more quickly, and a couple minutes you spare or a couple extra minutes you can spend in an extra raid, and that way you can make more money faster. So on to the offline raid. Okay guys, so as you can see, we spawned on the east side. So we'll get right to it. So first spot I'm gonna hit is the radio tower right here. And I'll fast forward through this part. Alright, so when you get up here, the stash is right here. And let's see what's in there. Alright. So after you hit this stash, you're gonna have to run down this way. It's kind of exposed, so you want to keep an eye out for anyone over here. And I'll fast forward through this part. Okay, so we're at the water station. There'll be 2 to 3 scavs. The best angle to hit them at is usually from right here. They'll be running out in the open. You usually one-tap them real easily. So you'll want to eliminate those scavs and then come around this way into the building. If you take a couple shots at the scavs and miss, they're more than likely will run into the building, and then they'll just come straight up here. So you'll just want to make sure that you clear, because occasionally one of the scavs likes to hang out right here, give you a nice surprise when you walk up in the building. You come up here, there's some tech spawns right here. You get all sorts of stuff, even a GPU. And then this safe that's right here. Get some euros. A hand drill. There'll be stuff on that desk. Some caps. You can also come down here, hit this medical bag. And hit this gym bag. Maybe pick up some food that's on the table. There'll usually be something on the plate right there. You can also hit this guy and this guy. I usually don't because they're out in the open, especially coming from the west side. There's a higher chance that players will be roaming around out here. So these guys are pretty exposed. So now onto the drunk tank, and I will fast forward us to there. Okay, so we're at the drunk tank. Whoever drove that had a good time. There's a stash underneath that you can hit if I can open it. Okay, so after you hit that stash, you'll want to come up right about here. You can actually, most of the time, you'll be able to catch the sniper scav's head, like right about here, and he won't be able to see you, so you can just give him a nice little love tap right there. And then I usually come up to right about here. Right about here, you can get the other one, same thing. You'll be able to see his like little noggin right there. You can give it a one tap. You are gonna want to be careful about players coming up from the gas station down there. So you'll want to keep an eye on the stuff to your left. And then also, you want to keep an eye on this ridge line. Players can sit here and camp you, especially if they see these scav snipers drop and they're over beyond this ridge, over at the the Devil's Ridge with the rocks. They might try to rush here to see if they can catch you. So go into the compound. There'll usually be 2 to 3 scavs in here. One of them likes to hang out right here. The other 2 usually are roaming around. One will be like over here. Another one will be at the entrance. You pop the guy that's over here. This one right here is probably going to come running down this way. You can just sit here right next to this pillar, give you some cover, and just wait for him to come around. Just give him a nice little left tap in the head. Come in here, open this up. I always, when I go in here, close this door. That way it looks like no one's been in here. Just run up here, hit the stash, you come in here, there will be an intelligence folder spawn here. Have yet to see it, but there is one here. There'll also be some loose gun mods, and then you have 3 weapons boxes. Oh, an alpha rig, nice. And then you can move out after you're done there. You can move to the toolboxes. There's 3 of them in here, in this building. If you're watching this video, you might wonder why I'm looting in an offline raid. I just want to give you guys a feeling of like how fast you'll be able to move through after you loot. One thing about this toolbox though, if you come straight on, the bridge is right there. If you're straight on, a player can come through. They'll see you, give you a nice little tap in the head. So I like to try to lean over and kind of stay out of sight. Take a couple of those. After that, you can come out. So there's 2 ways you can go. You can go over the bridge right here. I prefer not to, and I'll show you why. I usually go through out here. Coming out this way, I feel like there's a little more cover. There's a little more ways for you to be obscured. And the reason being is that, I'll come up to this ridge line. Players love to sit up against this bush, especially if they know that you're coming over this way. They'll sit there and wait. And as soon as you come through the little hole in the wall right there, you're out in the open. There's no cover. Total surprise, total ambush, you're dead. You just don't have a chance. So at this point, you can go up to the gas station if you'd like. Like I said, use your judgment, because if people are up in resort and they're fighting, and you can hear them, more than likely if you get in a fight in here with either scavs or other players, they will come down and try to pinch you. So I will fast forward through this to the next spot. Okay, so we're at the next spot. This is a little construction area. There's a stash that's right about there. You want to watch out for over here. Players will be here camping the back door. We'll lock the back door for this cottage. You can't really, like what I was saying when watching or talking about the on the map. You don't really have an angle for these guys. So that is the trade-off coming from gas station, because you're going to be a little higher, like directly behind them if there is someone over there. So that's why I usually like to run along this way, because you do kind of have some cover, and they might not even notice that you're there. And then all on these boxes, there is a chance for loot to spawn. Another thing you want to be wary of, if you didn't know, Santa Tar can spawn and roam around in here. He's pretty cracked, so if you turn this corner and he's there, you're going to want to just take a little peek first. And let's move on to the second house. So the reason I skipped this house entirely is, 1, because it's usually camped. 2, because if you come in here, you're instantly in the line of fire. There is a gym bag right here. You can come hit it, but the fact is, if someone's up there, they're going to see you run in there, and then they're just going to wait for you to come out and give you a nice surprise. So I usually stay away from there. I just feel like there's more ways to move out of the second house. So you come in here, open this door, hit this unlock. Oh, and look, some monies. And emergency water ration. And then there's a gym bag right here. You can go inside this way. Another thing you want to do, and I forgot to mention it, a quick way to check. See, if you come to the right a little bit, when you're up next to the construction compound, you'll be able to see all the way in here. And you want to check and see if this door is open, because if this door is open, more than likely a player has been through there or is still in there. And you'll want to avoid, you want to come in here at your own risk if the door's open, basically. You come in here and you can clear it real quick. Hit this safe, maybe if it'll let me. Get some money, zeros, roubles. Nice, nice, nice. Then in this room is a shelving and safe. Get a horse, book, 2 books. Doesn't matter, it's an offline raid anyways. Come in here, hit this computer. Nothing. You can hit this gun safe, and there, like right here, there'll usually be will be a magazine, some bullets. Sometimes there'll be a gun. It's usually just a shotgun or something like that. So you can come back out here. So there's the gym bag that's over there. There is the 2 jackets that are right here in this gym bag. All right, and then I will fast forward to the next part. So I probably didn't need to fast forward for that part, but anyways, now you're in the village. If you don't have a lot of loot, like right now we're filled up. I kind of took just everything. You can go through all the houses if you'd like. I like to hit the 3 stashes that are pretty easy and within reach. So we'll go to the first one. And I feel like this is one people don't know a lot about. The easiest way to know which house, or yard you need to go into is there'll be this red shed right here, this blue little beater, seen a rough life. There's this little door right here you can go through. There's a container you can loot right there. You just wrap around, and there's a stash right here. This one's full. There's a lot of loot right there. You can hit this if you want. Usually by this time I'm pretty filled up. Get to this stash. Hit this one. Some bottle juice, a power bank. And then hit this stash as well. Alright guys, so that's the loot run in a nutshell. Hopefully it brings you as many roubles as it has for me. If you stuck around to the end of this video, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please give a like or subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment if there's content you'd like to see from this channel. As long as if you liked the video, if you didn't like the video. Also, I stream on Twitch almost every day around 6 p.m. Central European time, depending on my work schedule. Feel free to drop in and tell me what you thought of the video. Link to my Twitch channel will be in the description below. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys out in the raids.